It's yet another day. I believe you are fit by the grace of God. We thank God. We are here to have a summary of our lesson 7. That's Monday and Tuesday lessons. But before then, I would like to plead with you to consider subscribing to the channel. Support me to get 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for doing that. Lesson 7 is about language, text, and context, which we have discussed this Sabbath afternoon and Sunday. Today, Monday, is about words and their meanings, and the Tuesday is about repetition, word patterns, and meaning. The Monday lesson, words and their meanings, is making us understand that in every language there are words that are so rich and deep in meaning that they are very difficult to find one word to describe it or to translate it. And so there are some words in their original language. When you want to translate them into another language, because of their deep meaning in the original language, you are not able to get another word in the language you want to translate in, to translate it for it to be for the understanding to be that clear as it is in its original language. And such words, much study needs to be done for us to be able to know that this is what it actually means, and this is how we need to understand it. The lesson gave us two words: one, mercy, and the word peace. These are translated words. Mercy in the Hebrew word is called chesed, and when you search it on Google, the meaning it gives is about the benevolence of God, its compassion, its love, the attribute of grace. And so you realize that the meaning is very deep, but in English it has been translated into what? The word mercy. It describes God's love, loving kindness, mercy, and covenant attitude toward his people. And so when we talk about the word mercy in the Hebrew language, it is talking about everything about God's love in our lives. Everything, all his goodness, all his grace, is everything that is, all the good things he's doing is in our lives. The word mercy entails all that, because it's as a result of his mercy that his son Jesus Christ came to die for us. His mercy is what, as a result of his mercy, he protects us. And so all that is in the word what? Mercy. And the lesson is saying that entire books have been written on the word chesed, trying to capture the depth of God's mercy and love towards us. So when you want to understand God's mercy, his love towards us, is so deep that we cannot really find a word to explain how deep it is. Another word the lesson gave us was peace. That is a translated word. The Hebrew word is what? Shalom. And it can be translated as wholeness, completeness, and well-being. God's blessing and graciousness keep us in a state of shalom, which is a gift from God. Amen. And so the shalom the Bible talks about, it's not about the fact that you have everything. You can have everything and still you don't have that shalom the Bible is talking about. It's a gift that only God can give to us. This word is so deep that it takes God for us to understand that complete wholeness, that completeness, that well-being. Deep within, you are so okay, no matter the circumstances surrounding you, no matter the difficulties. You find that completeness in you. And so in this our world, full of chaos and coronavirus here and there, as Christians, when we go to God in prayer, we can still experience that shalom, that completeness, that wholeness, and that well-being. It is a gift that we can experience from God because he alone can give us that gift. The Tuesday talks about repetition, word patterns, and meaning. And the lesson is telling us that in Hebrew thought, there are a number of ways to express ideas that reinforces meaning and emphasizes the importance of concepts. In the Hebrew language, they don't make uses of punctuation marks Unlike the English language, when they want to emphasize a word, they make uses of punctuation marks. In the in the Hebrew word, there is no punctuation marks. And the only way they emphasize their word, or they emphasize what they are trying to say, is through what? Repetition. And so they repeat a word to let us know that this word is very important. This statement is very important to God, and so we need to focus on it and understand it well. And so the lesson gave us words like created and holy. When you go to Genesis 1:26 and 27, which talks about God creating human beings, it repeated the word created 3 times. It is trying to tell us how much important that word is, trying to tell us that God is the creator of human being. And so it is debunking the notion of evolution, trying to this theory that makes us think that, oh, the world was not created. The created repeated 3 times in Genesis is emphasizing that God is the creator. And when you go to Isaiah 6:1-3, the word holy was also repeated 3 times, also trying to emphasize that God is holy. And so we need to understand that he is so holy to the extent that we approaching him, we need to approach him in holiness. We need to have that kind of perception and not to take him for granted, because he's too holy. It said the term bara, to create, always has only God as its subject. That is, it is only God that has the power to create without being dependent on pre-existing matter. Moses thus emphasized that human beings are created by God and that they are created in his image as well. These truths were his emphasis. And so Moses was emphasizing to let us know that God is our creator and we need to respect that. The emphasis is that is when we talk of holiness in Isaiah, the emphasis on the holiness of an awesome God whose presence fills the temple. And so Isaiah was also emphasizing on the holiness of God, which what fills the temple. When you go to Daniel, the phrase, the image which Nebuchadnezzar set up, was also repeated in Daniel 3, that is verses 1-15. This phrase, the image which Nebuchadnezzar set up, was repeated there several times. And this repetition, that is the emphasis here, is on humanity seeking to make itself into a God to be worshipped, in contrast to the only true God, the only one worthy of worship. God is the only one worthy of worship. And so Daniel repeating this phrase, the image which Nebuchadnezzar set up, is trying to tell us that human beings, we should be careful trying to make ourselves God to be worshipped, instead of we focusing on God, who is the only true God, the creator and the holy God, who deserved to be what? To be worshipped. My dear, this is the end of our summary. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave your comments and don't forget to like. If this is your first time watching me, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much. God bless you and stay safe.